So after that happened to you, I can imagine how terrified and traumatized you must have been.
But my response actually was more fawning. I just acted like everything was okay in the immediate aftermath. I pretended everything was normal. Um, I didn't realize at the time that that's almost a survival instinct, basically, because I was still at his place. And so I just kind of carried on like everything was normal. Now, when I got home, this is when the processing and the things in my mind started to kind of swirl through. Had I felt like I could reach out, had I felt capable of being vulnerable, I'm sure they would have said to me, this isn't your fault. But my mind really just went into blame mode, and it was very self-critical, very self-judgmental. And so for me, as I've looked back, and I went on to have therapy years later, and we'll probably get into that as well. But I think what I realized was the role that perfectionism and people pleasing has had throughout my life. So since childhood, I was always the good girl, the A student. I was a head girl at my secondary school, very much a people pleaser. And in the past, I if someone had said to me that there was an issue with perfectionism, I would have said, oh no, being a perfectionist just means that you're always aspiring
Yeah.
to be your best. People a people pleaser means that you're liked by, you do your best to be liked by everyone. But actually, what that was me not believing that I was enough and having to hustle for my worth all the time, and having to kind of prove that I was good enough to be loved, to belong, not thinking I was enough just to be accepted as I was. And I think that ties in with my silence, because I thought, oh, I'm in the wrong here. This is something that makes me a bad person. And silence just meant that it almost protected this perfect image that I was trying so hard to maintain.